So Niall, let me ask you this: when you listen to FM radio, what are you listening for? Are you listening for the music? Are you listening for the content, the presenters?
Music.
Right. But what I'm saying is that you can get that anywhere now, right?
Correct.
Back in the day, there was no Pandora, there was no Spotify. So that's what I'm saying is, what does FM radio, what do they need to do to cut through to extend its life, man? And that's what I'm saying.
That's a hard question too.
They're gonna have to, dude. They're gonna have
Content.
to collab, bro. I don't think the radio hosts on the stations are gonna keep people listening to FM radio when FM radio's main issue, the FM radio's main point is music. That's what radio is. It's the music. The issue is that they're drowning. They're drowning. Just like taxi. There was taxi drivers everywhere. Uber came out. Taxi drivers shrunk. FM radio is shrinking because there's more access to music because of the internet.
I think we allowed it to be that way. When I say that, we allowed, and I'm talking mainly about music formats, not talk or niche formats on the FM dial, but I'm talking about, music stations. We allowed it to be that way, whereas, personalities weren't probably allowed to express themselves as much, probably due to the rating system we're in, which I understand that argument as well. Totally different podcast, but you kind of get what I'm saying. If it was a totally different strategy, whereas personalities were content heavy, that might have been different. Do you get what I'm saying? Like podcasters and, I don't even want to say radio jocks, like content creators, if they were that interesting on the FM dial, your thought process might be different. But you look at, FM radio as music because they let it be that way. But now here's the problem. All these other platforms are offering the same thing. So for me, what's going to cut through is the people. That takes risk, but it's the people that talk.
I think the point of radio is music. I don't think that people are going to keep consumers watching
unless you
radio.
change the game, unless you hire, unless you bring on the Joe Rogans of the world.
No, I wouldn't want to listen to Joe Rogan. I want to listen to music. So you're talking about making a radio station that's all podcasts, mainly heavy podcasts.
No.
Getting a bunch of super.
Justo, you get what I'm saying? I think he's taking me literally. I'm talking about putting more emphasis on presenters, personalities that are really interesting content-wise, rather than just like backselling and selling a song. Hey, blah, 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 blah. Here's Selena Gomez, on blah, blah, blah. Did you hear about Selena Gomez? She's hooking up with Justin Bieber again.
I'm saying that none of that's going to matter for radio.
Wow.
Radio's going to have to make an app, or they're going to have to collab.
Oh, they got apps. We got apps.
Then they going to have to spend more money on that app
I think
to have it compete with Spotify.
You have to diversify, right? There's the traditional radio. A radio station should have a team. Each jock should or the radio station in general should have like a podcast version of the radio station, something like that, or incorporate podcast or digital strategies.
Agreed.
Towards traditional the
100%
radio format,
because like radio and podcasting, to me, they're entirely different audiences. Someone that listens to top 40 radio doesn't necessarily know about the Call Her Daddy podcast or all the podcasts that you and I watch. You get what I'm saying? But tell me if I'm wrong, Justo. You're basically saying you got to diversify, right, and get on different platforms so you can reach different audiences, because at the end of the day, it's a common brand.
Yeah.
Right?
There's also the idea of radio stations being local, like hyper local, and there's a lack of radio shows that are local because more and more of them are
syndicating out.
Syndicated shows from people who are out of the state. So I think it being local is one thing that draws people, because having someone who's from the Bay Area talking about Bay Area things, Bay Area issues,
true,
that gives you a person a list.
As long as it's really good.
Yeah, of
you
course.
Know what I mean? If someone just says
across the board, it has to be good.
Yeah, it can't just be, hey, I went to so and so for a great hamburger. You know what I mean? Blah blah blah, and that's it. You know what I mean? They got to really talk about something that only people would know about that hamburger spot.
Yeah, I think being local is an important aspect of it. That can't be the whole show. It's not just all the local show, but it has benefit.